Naomi, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to talk to you. We're going to talk about the communications department at Cape Cod Community College, which, as we talked about before we started, when I went to 4Cs, I took all the communications classes I could, and that is kind of what led me to where I am today. So I'm so excited to talk to you about that.
Thank you. It is great to be here.
Wonderful.
And get out the word about what a terrific communications department the college has.
Yes, is wonderful. So what kind of classes are we offering now at 4Cs?
Well, there's a wide variety of communications classes, some of which are required for an associate's degree, in basic human communication. And in addition, there are many other courses. There's a very vibrant debate class, and if there are enough students, an advanced debate class, and other various variations on the theme of communications. And in addition, the classes that I teach, radio broadcasting and production, fall under the roof of the communications department. And I'll just add one note. The department is arts and communications.
Oh, wonderful.
Which is, I think, really fun for me because my colleagues are in theater, which is a form of communication, and visual art, and music, and communication. And so I think we're all very supportive of each other's endeavors and occasionally get to work together, which is fabulous.
That's wonderful.
We are blessed with a radio station, still a terrestrial broadcast. It's not an internet radio station, although we do stream 24 hours a day. We are blessed to have this license. Licenses are very difficult to get now, and I think it's a very special kind of training ground for students who are interested either in radio. Some students do go on to careers in radio, and others have a great time doing shows while they're students and maybe going back into some kind of community radio. There's a course in radio broadcasting in which each student is required to have an hour-long show once a week.
I remember those days.
What did you do?
Oh, I was being on air at that time was not my forte, so I just kind of was like, okay, this looks good, and I just played whatever I could find in the studio, and just talked a little bit about it. I think this might be a good song. Here you go. It wasn't the best radio show, that's for sure.
But you did it.
I did it.
Got
yes.
behind the microphone, and I imagine that served you well now coming to this job.
Right.
In fact, I've seen students who in their day-to-day lives are sometimes painfully shy. I'm not exaggerating. There's a student who is her so-called different ability is selective mute. She doesn't talk much. She's fabulous on the air.
Wonderful.
And so for some students, this is not just fun. It's a way for them to access the this is why we can edit, communicative part of themselves that ordinarily, for whatever reason, does not come out, and they get to have some personal expression through what they say about the music and the music that they play. So for a variety of reasons, the radio station, and I should name it, WKKL, 90.7 FM, streaming live 24 hours a day through the Cape Cod Community College website. I have a couple of students who actually just won an award from a national collegiate radio organization for their show. They're two sisters who last fall started a program, hour-long, once-a-week program on esports and e-gaming.
Oh, wow.
And one reason their show is so exciting to me is that they're female. In the land of gaming, it's really a male bastion. I'm not going to comment on that, it just is. Whether you want to be a developer or a commentator or a player. And so these two young women came in who are rather soft-spoken, very polite, not the kind of people you think of being militantly beating down the door to gaming. And they do this great show, and they were named finalist in the specialty show category in this particular contest. So we'll be going to New York City to see whether they won. There will be an awards ceremony in a month, see whether they won.
So it's such an opportunity for people through the radio station, through the communications department, to find your voice, to find, you know, what it is that you the interest that you may serve in the, you know, in such a wide variety. I mean, when you think about communications, I mean, everybody communicates every day. So it could be anything, and it's so wonderful that you have that, and it gives people an opportunity to try different things out, I think.
Absolutely, and I very much encourage my students to be adventurous, to follow their respective muses. There are students who, at least the way you described yourself, use the music that's available, the recordings that are available from the station, in the station library, which are primarily but not exclusively alternative rock and roll with some other related genres. And that's fine. The world needs an alternative rock and roll broadcast from time to time. But then there are the others who do their thing. I had a student last semester who's passionate about poetry. So he had to learn about copyright laws because he was not allowed to broadcast a lot of the poetry he wanted. But he found poets who are writing on Cape Cod.
Right, that he could, you know, showcase.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
And I encourage members of the community who are not students to participate. Well, not just our staff members, but I was going to say we have a long time, very well respected staff member who's about to start a jazz program.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
So the community is welcome to knock on my door, community members. We have someone else who does a show, not sure how frequently, monthly or bi-weekly on WOMR, and comes to WKKL twice a month to do his thing, highlighting local artists and acoustic music. So there's a mix that you won't find anywhere else.
It's definitely, you know, something that people, you know, when you're on the radio dial and you're trying to find a station, I mean, if you can tune in to 90.7 WKKL, you're going to get, you know, a great, you know, idea of, you know, what the students are working on, and you're going to find different things. I think it's wonderful. It's such a great resource that the college has, and I'm so glad that the college has it.
And by the way, I'll blow our horn again. We are the only community college in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts with a broadcast radio station. There's at least one other with an internet-based station. Right. But we're the only ones with a tower that's on top of the Tilden Arts Center that actually broadcasts an FM signal that you can pick up on a tuner.
That's wonderful. Now, is there anything else you want to let our viewers know before I let you go today?
I hope you tune in, and I know that sounds self-serving. Of course, it is self-serving. But I've been working in radio for, I lose track, over 25 years. And I understand a lot about the difficulties of maintaining a variety of voices. So many stations, even in non-commercial stations like ours, are going to, you know, a single kind of format, news or music. And we're one of the last places where, first of all, the community is welcome. Community members are welcome to do shows, and why not? We're a public institution. Right. And we welcome a variety of voices and points of view and talk shows and news and music.
Wonderful. That's great. Naomi, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks.
My guest today is Naomi Arenberg. She's the general manager of WKKL 90.7 at Cape Cod Community College.